All right, I'm recording. I'm recording.
All right.
Watch out.
All right.
Watch out what you say. Stop dropping the slurs.
All right. I'm gonna come.
I think women are pretty. I love them.
Shut up,
I'm
simp.
gonna stop saying the T word. Did you say shut up, simp?
Yeah.
Yeah, he called me a simp, dude. Oh yeah.
What, did everyone else's end?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's over.
We're done.
That's it.
Yeah, it's over. That's it. That's the show. That's the whole show.
That's the fucking show.
Remember how you said,
Okay.
wow, I really hope this wraps up the story by the end and it ties things up? Yeah, too bad.
It did not. It just changed to a different show. It just was like, you know what? You guys hate this show. We know because we hate this show. Let's watch some fucking cutesy shit while like this guy's tossing balls up in the air and trying to get some love for his little sister.
The irony
don't,
is
don't take that kind of thing.
that last part was like the best part of the series.
Fucking cutesy fucking baby characters. Do it.
7等だな。7。はいこれ。
Oops.
ごめん夢。こんなのしか。わあかわいい。これ夢にくれるの？
Dude, if I saw a kid trying that hard, I would have a heart and just give him whatever he wants, man.
怪我してるけどここにいるよ。
So I guess we should so since Chad did the last recap, why don't you do it now, Tony? Recap the second half of Pupa for us.
Oh, yikes. Okay, so they're walking out of the school and fucking this dude comes out with like I think a penis on a fucking stick because there's a mosaic on it. He looks like a Persona character.
Yeah, he does. Did they just censor his gun?
His knife,
Or
I
knife.
think. I don't know why.
Yeah, no, it's just, and I don't know, man. So like this dude comes out with a knife and he's like, "Yo, come to like the warehouse where I'm gonna kill you." And the guy's like, "Oh yeah, dude, I'll totally go. I'm immortal and I don't die from being stabbed, but I'm totally scared of you for no
Maybe he
reason."
just likes warehouses. He's like, hey, I like to check out that warehouse.
I sure do like warehouses. Oh boy, nothing bad's gonna happen from this guy with a blurred knife. If I was an immortal being and I saw a knife, I would have walked away, but they couldn't because it was blurred. But then he went to the warehouse with him because he loves warehouses. He got stabbed like a million times by this dude that he's just like, I'm having so much fun with Deadpool, oh boy. So they just went back to him. They went to the warehouse. They were in broad daylight.
He forced them to come with him, I think, with like a little butter knife.
Yeah.
Oh, he just wants friends.
Just a random guy who wants to torture someone who he heard was possibly immortal.
He just kept on fucking stabbing him. And then out of nowhere, the just government came in. So I guess the teenager was like a government employee as well.
Yeah. It's like I don't know if it was the government, if it's mentioned that it was the government, but these scientist guys, I guess, hired a maniac to kidnap them for whatever reason.
Yeah.
They don't explain that.
So he's getting tortured and well, he didn't seem to say tortured. He's just getting because like the doctors are like, yeah, we tried giving him anesthetic. It's not taken. This kind of sucks, dude. Just chill out. I mean, that can't be so bad. They tried giving him anesthetic, you know?
Yeah, they're like,
Hey, dude.
It didn't take.
No, it didn't take.
And they're just using him for research, which is, you know what? They did some bad shit in the world, so that we have the stuff that we have today. I don't think it's that bad that they were doing some research on him. You know, they didn't seem like such bad people. None of them, like, they didn't even shoot at the girl. They were just like, oh, I'm getting ahead of myself.
Easier.
Okay, so
Yeah, they tried. That was good enough.
Oni-chan, he made like 20 kidneys, and they're just cutting out.
And the doctors are loving it. They're like, wow, we hit the gold mine. This is awesome.
Oh, they're meal prepping, dude. Nice.
They figured out a hack. They're gonna duplicate his organs and then harvest them, or like.
Dude, that's actually a good idea.
And yeah, like when you farm for the tarantulas in Animal Crossing.
Yeah.
It's super timely and topical, but then they're like, oh shit, this kid's just a gold mine for organs.
It's like a duplication glitch.
What's up guys, my name is Gokon137 and welcome back to another Club Penguin Online video. In this video, I'll be showing you how you can get unlimited kidneys in Club Penguin Online.
They'll be rich.
Yeah, we'll be rich, you guys.
All the kidneys you could ever need.
They're gonna totally screw up the kidney economy.
Kidney inflation.
You can just print kidneys.
Kidney printer code.
So they're duping kidneys. He starts screaming because he's like, "Oh no, those are my kidneys! Stop!" And then like his sister hears it.
I thought it was like on his Jordans. That's why he started screaming.
Yeah.
No, yeah.
You're gonna get blood on my Air Force Ones.
He said, "Don't." He said, "Don't get blood on my Jordans." And the scientists look back at him and they're like, "We wouldn't dare do that." But it doesn't look like it though.
Can't believe his white shoes are not fucking.
Got them white Air Force Ones.
Yeah, the fucking Jordans can't be fucking. He's like, "You can slice me open, you can take whatever you want, but not my Jordans."
The Jordans stay clean.
They put plastic bags on his shoes, make sure that he wouldn't get a single drop of blood in there.
Like, look, we may be evil scientists, but even we have to respect the sneakers, all right?
Hey, yo, bitch!
Are they evil? I mean, other than the maniac they hired, they don't seem like they were evil.
They weren't, and then but they justified it by him saying, "Well, you look like you're enjoying it."
Oh, that's nice.
Which was like a very weak justification.
Yeah. I mean, it implied the scientists basically said, "Oh, we're gonna save the human race with this, with some miraculous healing powers."
Yeah.
I don't know.
Them as that. Oh, they have a point. They're doing it for humankind. Oh, it's tough too.
They're not the worst people in the world either way, but like his sister didn't like it, so she like breaks out of the chains and starts eating dudes.
This is just like Elfen Light at this point.
And like she just like blew up this one guy, and then all of his friends were like, hey man, you good? Yeah, dude, you good?
So badass.
Ah, we got it. We got the head explosion.
Oh yeah, yeah. There you go.
We didn't get one last episode. Back.
Yamamoto, respond.
Hey, Yamamoto, you good?
You
Just
good?
say okay. I guess she saved the Oni-chan because I don't remember really anything from that. I remember go to the credits.
Well, he was just like crawling away from where they had him, so maybe he escaped by himself. Like it didn't even show her rescuing him. He just kind of like got out. Because
I mean, there is no danger for him because he can not die. Yeah. I mean, eventually everyone around you will die. You can just walk away scot-free. Bye. You know. Goodbye. I'm gonna go.
Walk away.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like just roll over. You can take whatever pain you want. I mean, he can feel pain, but like he can't die. So I mean, eventually your body gets to that point where like you're so numb to it because you can just do whatever. And then I'm forgetting the previous segment, by the way. So that was the episode, and then there's like a previous segment where the lady from the first episode that was following him around and also told the girl, "Hey, don't look at red butterflies."
She's like, "That's what I'm doing." Hello.
She was like, I forgot. She was in the beginning of the episode. She was just bathing, and there was a little backstory where she was poking a caterpillar, and it's like kind of implied that she's about to give birth to monsters and shit. And she's just bathing. Some dude comes in there. He's like, "Yo, let me see them titties, though."
Is this the slapper?
He's watching her bathe, man. Normal guy.
そんなことを言いに来たんじゃないでしょ
This is what my Animal Crossing house looks like.
Please let me fondle your breast. And she's like, and she was like, stop.
All those breasts.
What?
I was just emphasizing for the audience that wasn't even a fucking joke. That was
Yeah,
like,
yeah. He put his hands up like this. He's like, oh, I want to see him.
Please.
That's the robot cat.
あら別に
He is the cat.
But he did. He did the fucking, like, you know when you remember when you were like messaging girls back in the day, and you were like, do you want to go out or wherever? And then she says no, and then you're like, I'm just kidding. Like he did that. She was like, no, we're professional, and he's like, oh, I wasn't really wanting to fondle your breasts or whatever. That was just it was just a joke, JK. Oh.
That guy's actually like a very well-known voice actor too. I found out. That's what one of the comments was saying. This guy, his voice like everything under the sun.
What, the scientist guy?
The guy with the glasses, the aviators, that was like, I want to fondle those breasts.
Wait, by the way, the guy with the glasses, was he their dad?
Oh fuck.
From earlier?
I don't know.
ここが現実だって
There's the
わかる
slapper.
The slapper.
Yeah, I
That's okay,
tried my best to keep attention to everything. I was focusing really hard, and I can't even tell if that was her dad. I remember in the first episode, she's like, I can't wait for Blank to come home. But, I mean, it wasn't even implied if there was the dad there. The guy even slapping, I guess that was her dad, because they said in the first episode that Mommy and Daddy used to beat the shit out of each other on the reg. Yay!
Aww, how cute.
It's adorable.
そう言うと親父は笑いながら俺たちをもてあそんだ。
Why are you laughing?
Well, me and my my sister ate me, and it's kind of weird. But hey, man, that's growing up with a big family. That's how it is.
It's one of the viewing hazards of living in a big family.
Hey.
Roll credits again.
朝も体操始まるよワンツースリーフォー
Okay, so basically that was like the. Okay, so then after all that, after fucking dude's crawling away, girl eats people and explodes dude's head. It cuts to cuts to like back in the day when they're just chilling as babies, just walking around, just rugrats.
Are they in like a school? Is that what they're in? They're like some kind of preschool.
It looked like the school festival or some shit.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, and they're just chilling.
There's like these people in like bunny costumes, like some furries there, like holding a raffle, and they're like, come get your tickets and win the big teddy bear.
They were like trying to do something metaphorical or something, because like the carny in the furry suit was like unnaturally kind of cruel and saying like, if you don't take the chances, you're doomed. And it was like they were trying to insert something meaningful in that scene, but also the tone shift was so weird. It was just Lucky Star music all of a sudden. And then like these weird little side characters that look like they were part of the cast all along, but actually weren't. And then
it seemed like they were trying to do some kind of ironic thing where it was like, oh, we're doing like a slice of life, but it's actually in like the middle of a dark show, and it's like totally ironic. Mm-hmm. And yeah, I mean, it legitimately felt like a slice of life show, and it was better done than everything else that we'd seen up to that point. It was
I would say I had more fun watching that than any of the other show. I liked it. Like all of the girls were just like tickets. Sorry, Chad.
Saying there's more personality in our main character in that little flashback of him trying to win the prize than there was like through the entire fucking show.
大丈夫私たちのもあげるからあと3回できるよ
Who are these people?
And what's this like slice of life? Like,
yeah.
Suddenly this is an episode of Lucky Star.
Yeah, what is this?
It's an episode of Lucky Star suddenly.
Yeah. That's exactly what I was thinking of, because it's all like fucking cutesy fucking baby characters.
It's basically this entire show was a waste of time, and they should have made a slice of life anime instead.
Imagine peaking at 5. Imagine you're like everything from here is downhill. You're 5 years old. You got it. You know, you got a hairpin that looks lame as fuck that your sister bought you, and you really get out, and you're just nothing's gonna get better than this.
That sounds like my life. I peaked at 5.
Man,
yeah, that's all.
Koji.
From there.
So, what seems to be the problem, Mr. Tentacles?
It all started when I was born.
Don't let your kids watch it!
Just to emphasize Koji's point that I said in the beginning, I look forward to some kind of resolution to like see how everything ties together, and then there was none. But we should be used to that by now. I mean, like 90% of the manga and anime we watch in general.
Yeah.
Conclusion to begin with.
Nothing we've watched thus far has made sense anyway, so.
And I just mean in the general sphere, though, of anime and manga, like everything is intended to run for a long time, or it's intended to run its course, and then not enough people bought the Blu-ray, so they don't make a second season or whatever. So
I will remember you.
I guess we should be used to this. You just watch something and only get half the story.
Well, in this case, like, we don't even get, like, even half the story. We get, like, apparently, like, 1/20th of the story. So there's 5 volumes of the manga, apparently?
I felt like they were introducing so much stuff, and then none of it went anywhere. Like, there's the spooky lady with the hat who's manipulating the parasites to do things for her will, and then there's, like, this Illuminati group that's trying to duplicate organs for profit or for future mankind, and then
there's big plot elements that aren't even touched on at all.
Parasite brother and sister are just trying to live their lives and eat each other in peace. They're just trying to have their toxic little codependent relationship. She eats them, and they live in a symbiotic, incestuous relationship.
I want to find like a second opinion on this, like see if there's like a person who really liked it on like my anime list or something, and see what they said about it. But all the ratings are like 1s and 2s, like you would expect. Like they're very, very negative. Here's some good segments from this one. The art style references various infamous paintings and sculptures in the last 10 centuries. The paintings include Theodore Géricault anatomical pieces, in which the disembodied body parts, which Pupa references from the cannibalism imagery, blockish by style and symbolic shadows. Smiling Spider by Odilon Redon, Francisco Goya, Saturn devouring his son, Francis Bacon. So they're referencing all these famous artists, and it says at the end, "Thank you, Dean, for saving the medium that died long ago. Thank God for the beginning of life that led our imagination and creativity to show impact and succession in our fullest potential in human nature. My review may not reach to convince enlightenment to those readers out there, but I hope you, at least by mere curiosity, check the practically Jesus of storytelling. Pupa is the anime we need, not the one we deserve." So I guess that's the winky face there.
Yeah,
I think that's definitely a real person.
So the negative reviews have like 5 or 6 episodes out of 12 watched. Like they dropped it halfway through. Like they couldn't bring themselves to finish like the 45-minute long episodes. I think I watched through this whole thing when I first watched it, just out of morbid curiosity. And
is there more? Is that it?
That's it. That's the whole series. Yeah.
Oh well. I mean, okay. So a funny idea. What if we started from the beginning? Like, what if we started from the ending? You know, if we had that little kind of like slice of life episode, and then we went to like all of the bits. Do you think we would have liked this more?
Okay, pause there. Why are there birds screaming behind you? It sounds like you're in a Dark Souls
chilling out nature, man.
Are you suggesting we download all the episodes and then splice them into a good anime?
I don't think you can, but I'm saying, like, do you think you would have enjoyed it more if the start was actually decent.
No.
I
No.
don't think so either. But I want to think like it didn't start off well in the slightest.
I think
it was a bad start, but like,
even if you disassembled this entire series and put it in an order that made more sense, you just don't. It's like trying to put together a puzzle with half the pieces gone. It's not. It's still gonna look like shit at the end. Like there's no reason that this even should have been made with like the episode length that they have and like the time constraints and everything. You know, maybe they could have put something like bearable together if they had like full length episodes and enough budget and everything. But no, there's no way they can fit this plot that they're trying to tell inside, like, you know, the span of 40 minutes.
If you look at this as just like a story structure, there was nothing like, yeah, like you said, the pieces aren't there. Like, it's all just like, it all felt like introductory stuff. Like, you know how an anime will start with a bunch of, what the WTF did I just watch? Try and get you to watch more, and like, they're just introducing all these hard to grasp concepts, and then they elaborate as the episodes go on. But like, this was only WTF, never went anywhere. It was all just like shocking imagery after shocking imagery.
well, were you really that shocked?
The conflict, except he got kidnapped and then okay.
I mean, again, like I know this could be shocking for people, but I mean, again, most of the gore and stuff wasn't that bad. I couldn't even tell she was eating a person. Like in that last the last scene where she was eating a person, like I couldn't tell what. You could tell it was human because she said so, and because she only eats human beings. But it was just like a blob in her hand.
Well,
and they use the crunchy noise that they use in anime when they're eating people. Their heads are blowing up and shit. Oh, and I would respond, yeah, well, does it have a little sister eating her brother for 5 minutes?
See, this is better than Elf and Mai or whatever. That's like the irony of this show, though. It seemed like they were trying to do this thing where it's like so over the top, like oh, people are gonna watch it because it's so extreme and gory and stuff. But they censor it so much to where the gore is absolutely pointless.
Yeah.
So if you even were to watch this show for the shock value, it's like there's no point because you can't even see half of it. So
for the most part, I didn't hate it, but I didn't enjoy it. I wouldn't go out of my way for it. I think the first episode, I was very much like, no. I do think that, honestly, my opinion did change by the little slice of, like, I did like that, you know? I did like it. So I wouldn't say my time has been completely wasted. But I would say I wouldn't go out of my way to do it again, and I would never in my life watch it alone because I would just be on my phone the entire time.
Look, watching bad things is not a waste of time because they make you appreciate the good things more.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I get that. But also, if I watched like 5 minutes of that, I would have turned it off and let me go watch something else.
I have to say though, like thematically, there is like a kernel of something that could be interesting here to base the show off of, but this is not the show. They were so far off the mark with it. If they were throwing a dart, it wouldn't even hit the dartboard. It would just be like in someone's, like the back of someone's head, like near the other end of the room.
I need to step back so I can get some movement. It's in his head. It's in your forehead. Take it out of your forehead.
I don't know, man.
But yeah, I don't know. The whole experience of watching this just made me feel empty and not very good. Yeah.
The
ending was good.
I
liked the very last episode.
Yeah. I feel like it was good as a starting point for something. That's what I was trying to say earlier. Like if you started a show from there, I would have liked it a lot.
Yeah, it would have made you like connect to the characters a little bit, like learn about them and kind of grow used to them, instead of just starting it off with boom, she's a monster, she's eating people, look at her, scary.
I guess it's your time to look, ladies.
Was she a pupa for a monster? Oh my goodness. But you do have to set up the genre early on.
True.
At least that's my rule. Is you can't fucking if it's the blood and the nitty gritty, the meat and organs, the meat and kidneys of the show is gore and monsters. You gotta establish it.
That is where like
they should have done like the gory. Whoa, what is this about? Intro and then throw in the slice of life.
Yeah. I'm with you.
No, I'm in the opposite of that. I like. I'm sure you guys are kind of weebs. I'm pretty sure you've watched the movie Hausu. You've seen the movie?
No, it's on. I definitely want to see it though. My brother recommended it.
But I like when things are like overly cheerful. I'm not gonna ruin it for you. But I like when it just comes out of nowhere. But like, I wouldn't say that would work for this, but at least having like maybe an underlying, oh yeah, this is gonna be that. Kind of like Doki Literature Club or something like that.
A guy movie. The fuck's the British guys? They do all those movies like that too. Like World's End was totally like one genre and then it flips into another.
Yeah, like Shaun of the Dead.
Right.
She's so drunk.
And then there's still like I guess certain.
But that's like the gimmick.
There's skillful foreshadowing throughout though that kind of leads to it.
Yeah, and that's kind of like the gimmick of the movies too. It's like, oh, it's a normal movie and then it turns into something else, and that's kind of like the idea. Whereas Pupa is not trying to do that. It's trying to tell like a very specific kind of story.
But it's not. I mean, there's no. I mean, I don't know. Like, there's nothing to pull you in any side of it. If you're a fan of like violence and stuff, I mean, it's too censored for you to be a fan of that.
Yeah.
And then, I don't know. Like, I don't know what to say. It's not.
There's no salvaging it. You can't salvage what this is. This is basically like it feels more like a 40-minute long trailer for a bigger story.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like, as far as, like, putting that thing at the beginning, I can see it from Chad's point of view. Like, I mentioned this show earlier, but that show, A Sister's All You Need, it started off with, like, a fake-out beginning like that, where it was, like the story, the actual show was about, like, a writer who writes books about little sisters. That's, like, his obsession. But it starts off with, like, showing one of the stories he wrote, and it was, like... this guy who he wakes up in the morning. It's like a fantasy story with this guy. He's sleeping with his sister, and she wakes up and she's naked, and she's like, "Oh, wake up, big brother! It's time for breakfast." And she like feeds him the breakfast she makes him is like her panties with like some breast milk. That she made, and like just like weird stuff like that, and people that kind of clip went viral like on Twitter and stuff. Like people were sharing that, and they thought like the actual show was like that. It was only like the first 5 minutes.
So that was just his like sicko fantasy.
Yeah, and then it cuts to the regular show after that. But like I could see a show definitely like falling into that where people think like, oh, this is the actual show, gross. And I even saw some people review it where they said like, oh, I turned it off after the first 5 minutes because it was gross.
Mm-hmm.
So, I guess
that's a fail to me though. I don't know, as a writer, that's a fail to me if you can't onboard them with a wacky ending like that, but also, I mean, beginning and then also get them to realize that like they need to watch more. But then some would also say the opposite, where they're just like, well, if they don't get it, then fuck them.
Well, the problem is that the book, I have the light novel version of it, and it starts off the same way. It's like that, but it works better in a light novel where you already know what it is when you pick up the book. You know, it's
like a lack of self-awareness because there's so much shit out there like that they didn't animate it or tell it in such a way that said this isn't actually your typical fetish material. This isn't us just pushing the boundary of fetish material. It's like there's something else.
I mean, I appreciated it when I watched it, but it is. I can see how people would be put off by it. That's for sure.
Fucking normies.
Normies ruining everything.
A band where they purposely played like fucking garbage shit for about like an hour, and then a bunch of people left, And then they're like, okay, now that all the fucking posers are gone, we're gonna play our real set. But
I thought about doing that.
By the way, I gotta head out pretty soon.
Hey, it was really nice doing the podcast.
Yeah, well, we got to do our recommendations. Would you recommend Pupa? That's the question that we have to answer. Now that we've seen the second part, the first part was really baffling, but the second part, I'm sure, has cleared up a lot of story elements that were kind of unclear before.
Yep.
So, Chad first, would you recommend Pupa?
Nope.
Do you want to elaborate on that for us?
Nope. Just trust. I'm your pal here. I'm trying to save you some time. Trust me on this one. Don't watch it.
Okay. Fair enough. A little harsh, but fair.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Tony. Would you recommend Pupa?
Okay, so I'm gonna say this is a hard one. Alex, can you put up no? Is no an answer?
Yeah, you could. Yeah. We'll just go with
okay,
that.
I'm gonna go with a hard no.
Okay, hard no. Okay.
Hard no.
Now I'm gonna say, for all of its faults, I do think there are a lot of things to appreciate about Pupa that I think, some of the more high-minded individuals will really enjoy. So I'm going to go ahead and say yes. Yeah. I would recommend
it. Jesus. Okay, Koji, you got to go into detail. I know you got to go, but, why is it a yes?
Yeah.
It's like, like all the thematic... There's, a lot of, imagery from, classical paintings, It's very, striking and iconic, and I think a lot of people will be really moved by it. And the story of brotherly and sisterly love, it's just it really pulls at the heartstrings and gets the tears flowing. I was crying by the end. So
True. Yeah, I heard it.
Yeah, I was just moved. And short length aside, they didn't really need any more time. Actually, it's just the right amount. So I think they cut out all the unnecessary details and just left the core of the story that they needed.
You know what? I'm going to take back my answer. I'm going to make it soft no.
Oh, okay. All right, great. I'm glad I was able to sway you a bit. Yeah. What about you, Chad? You changing your answer at all?
It's a soft no. You can't...
So keep in mind. For this segment, okay? This is Chad's anime fashion corner. And
okay.
This is a thing I've been trying to make a graphic. I've had this in my mind. You're fine to wear cringy anime shit, but you have to understand that a level of judgment is going to come with it. So you have to be prepared for that. So the more on this side of the scale you are, the more scrutiny you're going to get. That's the word I want, scrutiny. The more scrutiny you're going to get. But if you're more on this side, on the normal side, less scrutiny you're going to get. But then also you're more plain and less authentic. So I'm going to show you right now some badass anime t-shirts and some bad...
I like your anime t-shirt you're wearing right now.
How exhilarating. I cannot
Thank
wait.
You. So here's the one Koji helped me buy. So this is
oh, dude, that's so sick, dude.
So it's kind of slightly, it's got some of that vaporwave shit going on. It's from that fucking Vapor 95 shop. So Koji is shaking his head a little bit. He's fucking normies and their goddamn vaporwave shit. He wouldn't buy this personally because he's a fashionista. But if you're going to the bar next to J-Town, this is a perfect shirt, right? And then you wear it with this thing or something, and you just wear it over top, right?
Yeah.
Now let me show you a bad shirt. This shirt's not going to get you any pussy unless you're looking for a guy for butt pussy, right?
Yeah, I guess. Do what you gotta do, man. Oh no.
Cat shirts.
Chad, you just lost all of my respect.
You're wearing this fetish material, dude?
Yeah.
Nothing. Nope. Deal.
Please tell me you've never worn that in public.
Here's what I wear. Here's what I wear.
That's dope. That's a dope shirt.
This is one of my newest tops.
It's fucking great. Surf at the big. Stay up.
Is that Big Dog or whatever his name?
It's Big Dog's alright. Yeah, authentic. Look.
God.
It says in here. It says authentic Big Dogs.
Oh
not
God.
Not one of those cheap knockoffs.
I used to go to the thrift store and buy shirts like that, like one that said like "rules for dating my granddaughter" and shit like that.
Yeah. This one's
Dude,
new.
Big
They still
Dogs
make
is-
all their shirts.
Dude, Big Dogs is funny, dude. I used to go in there with my I think it was like my step grandfather, and like he loved that stuff, and they just had all this dumb shit on these shirts, and all of it. It's just like a kind of redneck store, but it wasn't. But like you don't see them around anymore. I haven't seen a Big Dogs in years. But I still see the shirts all the
I like
time.
that. What is that?
It says "Sweet Dead" with limbo and very metal-looking text.
I like it. I really like that one. That's cool.
Blood Kill. And I don't know what the shirt's about at all, but I bought it on Booth.
Yeah, it's cool. I like it.
And probably the best shirt of all is my prized possession. I was one of the stupid people who bought the clown blouse from MDE. So if you read the description for this shirt, it is not a lie. Let me see if I could pull it up real quick.
What does it say?
Hold on a sec. Fuck. Maybe
I bought this hat for like 99 cents in a hardware store in Minneapolis.
The fucking description for this shirt said like all this stuff about picking up pussy from the Jack in the Box cashier or something, and then it said like disclaimer: this is not a joke. This shirt feels like shit. This is made with golden glitter, and it feels like horsehair. Like this is a really bad idea if you buy this. I bought it. They're 100% right. This is like the tackiest, grossest fucking shirt. it's so stupid. And,
I like that they tell you that it's not a good shirt in the description, and you still bought it.
like, you can only see the designs if you like put it 5 feet away from you and try to read it in the proper light. And it says stuff like "Cool God, Mommy Lover," "America's Deadliest Gods," 100% Cool God. And then there's a fist with tattoos that says "Funny" on the knuckles.
Funny.
$100 Mommy Lovers.
One of my goals in life, actually, before we had a podcast, when I just kind of knew Koji on Twitter, is to go shopping with Koji, because he's got the best. He's got one of my like I don't have any style. There's nothing. I have no style at all. But I love Koji's style. So I just want to go hang out with him, and then get some jackets and shirts. But the fact that Koji picked you out a shirt, it hurts, dude.
You go shopping with Koji, he's only going to get you Letterman jackets with skulls on them.
I know. Look, well, I'm hurt because you gotta have that. And I didn't.